Hi ladies, I know I'm super late on updating you guys about the pregnancy and how baby is doing, and so I'm going to go ahead and try to make this video about what has been happening the last few weeks, and then I'll do my last week's vlog today after this video. And I'm sorry for the lighting. I'm actually in the baby's closet because I want a little bit of privacy, and we don't have a door in the baby's room yet, like the door frame and all that. But my husband did finish up the flooring, and I'll show it to you guys. And we just got to put like one of those spacer things, but yeah. So anyway, so what has been happening is I was late on making my vlogs for week 21 and 22, and I was gonna make them, but when I was 22 weeks and 6 days, which I was gonna make it that Tuesday for like the 2 weeks past, I got into an accident, and I just picked up my kids from school, and this older man in like an old truck, like, I was at the stop sign, I stopped, and not even like a few seconds after being there, like 1 or 2 seconds, he hit me from the back, from behind. I didn't see him coming. We just felt the hit, and it wasn't very hard. Our car got minimal damage. Still a lot of money to replace what was damaged, but the insurance and all that's getting taken care of. So right now we're in a rental, and I was pretty shooken up. I called my husband because he wasn't with me, and he was home, and I'm gonna try to make this video not so boring. I'm gonna skip a little bit of parts. Okay, so I called my husband, and I called the police, and I told him I needed an ambulance because I was pregnant, and so the ambulance, when they checked me out, they said my pulse was high, but everything else looked great. They recommend me to go to the hospital, and I tried going to the hospital that night, and my kids were fine. Tried going to the hospital that night. Sorry. Like I said, I want a little bit of privacy. I really don't want my kids hearing me what I'm talking about, due to you guys will find out a little bit. So I went to the hospital, and they couldn't see me that night. They gave me a lot of drama. I went to the 20 weeks, for labor and delivery. They wanted me to go in through the ER. There was like 50 people in the ER. And so I was just like, I'll just try a different hospital in the morning, which I went to my hospital, and they gave me drama. So I went to another hospital, and that next morning, the day I turned 23 weeks, and they did some monitoring on the baby. His heartbeat on the screen looked terrible, but not all like on the monitor, but the lady didn't have it hooked up to me properly, and I could tell because it was everywhere. It was like 50, 90, 100, 200, like random, and because he kept moving, and she had it positioned on me wrong, when she came and fixed it, it looked good and constant and perfect on the screen. But anyhow, they did do me an ultrasound. There was a really good doctor there, and she wanted them to do a full ultrasound. I told her about my history. I have a history of losses, so they wanted to do an ultrasound. I went and got like a full anatomy scan, basically, and they came back with the news that I'm trying to figure out how many minutes I'm at. They came back with the news that there was a cyst in the baby's head, and that what else? Oh, that the nuchal fold was measuring a little high. On the papers they gave me, it said it was mildly high, but everything else was measuring perfect. Like the baby was measuring perfect, the placenta, everything was measuring right on. So I freaked out, of course, but I had this feeling that everything's gonna be okay. And I was a little worried, and I cried a little, but my husband, he actually left the hospital to go get the kids when I got the news. So, but they were telling me, like the doctor was telling me and the nurse was telling me, that a lot of times the nuchal photo doesn't mean anything when you're that far along, and that the cyst is usually nothing. Like it usually goes away on its own around, I guess, a little more weeks. So anyhow, I went home with that, and then I had a doctor's appointment. Like that was Tuesday. I had a doctor's appointment on Friday, so I went in to see my doctor, and I took her the paperwork that they gave me and told her what all they said. She wasn't too worried about it. She's like, I don't think it's anything significant. I don't think you have anything to worry about. And so, you know, the nurse, the doctor at the hospital, and my doctor told me, like, it shouldn't be anything significant. I mean, it's possible that it is, but more than likely, they didn't think that it was. So I went, my doctor scheduled me an ultrasound, and I went to that scan at, I have to look, 24 weeks and 3 days. So I'm not sure like how many days after that was, because it was like 23 weeks and like, I'm just gonna say like a week later, I went and got another ultrasound at the hospital that I go to. And my doctor said, like, you know, the people that give us the ultrasounds at the hospital I go to, they are, you know, really, what are they called? Like, and of course I'm not going to remember what they're called, like specialists, like fetal medicine, something specialists. They do the ultrasounds. And my son's calling me. What? And so anyhow, I got that ultrasound. I mean, the baby's been super active and moving around and just going bananas. He was going bananas at the hospital with the monitor, and like he was going crazy. Also, when I was getting my ultrasound at the other hospital for the accident, he was moving so much, like my whole stomach looked like tornadoes or something. It was like moving, bouncing everywhere. And she was saying she was having hard trouble getting the back of his head and his neck, and she was having a lot of trouble. So luckily when we went back to the hospital that I go to and they did the ultrasound, he was really cooperating. Like he wasn't going bananas. She got to get some good photos, and she actually told us, like, she couldn't find anything wrong with him. She couldn't find a cyst in his head, and they actually like gave me a 7 millimeter or centimeter cyst or something, and she said she can't find anything. She couldn't find anything wrong with him. So I don't know if it was just because he was moving so much. She said sometimes the position that they're in when they're like facing the back, it's hard to get the good photos. I have no idea, but I was just glad and relief. And they compared that to my blood work, and my blood work has shown that the baby, you know, my baby doesn't have a chromosomal like disability type issues. So I was really happy about that. Everything had came out great with that, and his nuchal fold is actually measuring smaller, and it was actually measuring like a 5 point something, and she said it was great for his age, where he's at. And she's like, look how thin it is, there's no fluid. She's like, he looks great. So we were super excited and super happy that he's looking so awesome. And I got some photos to show you guys. So I got this photo, and that's just the back of the head, the forehead, and the nose. It's hard to see. And then she gave us this one of his private, but I don't know where his private's at. I'm pretty sure it's in this area, but I think those are his little things. And then I don't know where his private's at. But I know it's there because they confirmed it 2 times 3 times already that he's definitely a boy. So this one, okay, I don't know if you guys see it differently than I do. She didn't really tell me what this was, and she kind of confused me when she was telling me what it was, but I think these are his eyes, and then his nose, and then his mouth down there, and then his chin right there. And so his head's up here, and I think he's laying down. I think that's his arm and his chest, and I think she said his hand was up here by his face. So yeah, so that's it for that update, guys, and I will go ahead and make my 25-week update after this video and show you guys all the stuff that we bought, because we bought a whole bunch of stuff and it's all cute monkey stuff. So okay, I will see y'all later, and thanks for watching.